Welcome back to the channel, where we bring you the latest and most compelling Dallas Cowboys news you won't find anywhere else, and today's update might just flip your entire perception of this offseason on its head. Just when it seemed like the Cowboys were settling into their strategy, the front office has thrown a curveball. Rumors, whispers, and insider leaks are pointing toward a twist few saw coming: the possible exit of tight end Luke Schoonmaker, a surprise target in Darnell Washington, and in a move that would make headlines across every football network in the country, a potential shock trade involving none other than Pittsburgh Steelers superstar TJ Watt. That's right, buckle up, because the Cowboys trade plot is spinning out a storyline that's as bold as it is unpredictable. Let's begin with the tight end situation that's quietly become a raging fire behind the scenes in Dallas. Luke Schoonmaker, the team's second-round pick from just a year ago, was supposed to be a cornerstone in the Cowboys' evolving offensive identity. But things haven't exactly played out that way. While he entered the league with high expectations, boasting elite blocking skills and an underrated ability to stretch the middle of the field, his rookie season left fans and analysts alike wondering whether the Cowboys reached too early in the draft. Despite flashes of promise, Schoonmaker's performance was inconsistent, and whispers from inside the locker room suggest that patience may be wearing thin within the organization. Now, with training camp around the corner and the roster still shifting like tectonic plates, trade rumors involving Schoonmaker have started to gain serious traction. Multiple sources suggest the Miami Dolphins have expressed interest in acquiring him, viewing him as a key piece that could bolster their offensive scheme built around quick reads and dynamic tight end play. If that seems like a surprising destination, think again. The Dolphins under Mike McDaniel have shown a willingness to get creative, and adding a big-bodied, system-friendly tight end like Schoonmaker could open up new wrinkles in their playbook. But here's the thing: the Cowboys wouldn't make a move like this unless they had a bigger plan in place. That plan, we're hearing, may include Darnell Washington, the towering 6'7", 265-pound athletic freak who slipped down the draft board last year but has started to show signs that he's ready to dominate. Washington, currently with the Pittsburgh Steelers, has become the center of a swirling trade narrative that ties directly into the Cowboys' newfound interest. While the Steelers haven't made anything public, insiders close to the situation claim they're listening to offers, especially if the return includes draft capital and a positional piece that can help them immediately. That's where the Cowboys come in. With Schoonmaker and possibly even a future third or fourth round pick on the table, Dallas may be crafting a swap that brings Washington to Texas in a deal that would instantly change the complexion of their offense. So why would the Cowboys want Washington over Schoonmaker? The answer lies in upside and scheme fit. Washington is an absolute mismatch nightmare. He can block like an offensive lineman and run like a wide out. His catch radius is ridiculous, and he brings a physicality to the game that fits perfectly with Mike McCarthy's vision for a tough, run-first identity that can still burn defenses over the top. Pairing Washington with Jake Ferguson would give the Cowboys a two-headed monster at tight end, capable of punishing defenses in multiple formations and opening the field for CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, and Tony Pollard. But we haven't even gotten to the most jaw-dropping part of this developing story: the TJ Watt angle. Now, let's be clear. When this first surfaced, even some of the most plugged-in analysts were skeptical. After all, TJ Watt is the face of the Steelers' defense, a perennial Defensive Player of the Year candidate, and a leader both on and off the field. But in the NFL, nothing is ever truly off the table. Behind the scenes, there are quiet tensions building in Pittsburgh. Watt has reportedly been frustrated with the direction of the team, particularly the lack of high-level success in recent years and the instability at quarterback. While he hasn't gone public with these frustrations, sources close to the organization say Watt could be open to a move if the right contender with a Super Bowl window came knocking. Enter the Dallas Cowboys. With Dan Quinn now gone and Mike Zimmer stepping into the defensive coordinator role, there's a renewed push to reshape this defense in his image: aggressive, versatile, and dominant at the point of attack. While the Cowboys have cornerstone stars like Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence, the chance to pair Parsons with TJ Watt would be nothing short of historic. Think about it, two of the most disruptive edge rushers in the game lining up on opposite sides, collapsing pockets, wrecking blocking schemes, and turning quarterbacks into panicked, mistake-prone versions of themselves. If Zimmer and Jerry Jones believe this is their championship window, a move for TJ Watt, even one that requires major assets, suddenly doesn't seem so far-fetched. But what would it take to pull off such a blockbuster? That's where the speculation gets serious. The Steelers would likely ask for a package that includes a first-round pick, possibly a second, and a proven player. Someone like Trayvon Diggs, or a rising linebacker like Damone Clark, could be floated in these talks, although the Cowboys may instead try to offer future picks and multiple rotational players to sweeten the deal. Keep in mind Dallas has been aggressive in the past, even if they don't always pull the trigger. But this offseason, there's a different energy in the building. The NFC East is wide open, the 49ers look vulnerable, and the Eagles are dealing with their own transition. The Cowboys know that their best chance at a Super Bowl might be this very season. And that urgency could lead to one of the most stunning trades in franchise history. Of course, there are risks involved. Trading Schoonmaker before he has a true chance to develop could backfire. Passing on a homegrown tight end prospect to bring in someone who's still unproven like Washington could disrupt chemistry. And swinging big for a player like TJ Watt would mean parting with valuable capital and taking on a significant financial commitment. But when you zoom out and look at the bigger picture, it becomes clear that Dallas is no longer playing it safe. They're leaning into boldness. And in today's NFL, fortune favors the bold. It's also important to look at how this shakeup could impact the rest of the roster. If Washington comes in, he instantly pushes others down the depth chart, likely meaning less playing time for Peyton Hendershot and John Stevens Jr. If TJ Watt arrives, then the defensive rotation becomes one of the most fearsome in the league. But it could also push out young talents still trying to carve a role, like Sam Williams or Dante Fowler Jr. That's the cost of star power. You don't build around maybes when you have the chance to add a sure thing. Another interesting angle is how this potential trade saga affects Dak Prescott. With Schoonmaker possibly gone and Washington coming in, Prescott's comfort with his tight ends will be critical. Chemistry between quarterback and tight end can take time, especially in red zone packages and third down conversions. But Washington brings an edge and athleticism that Prescott could exploit almost immediately. And if the Cowboys are serious about giving Dak every possible tool to succeed, then this move, along with the potential for a top 5 defense, gives him the best supporting cast he's had in years. As for fans, reactions are already pouring in across social media. Some love the idea of shaking up the roster, seeing it as a sign that the Cowboys are finally all in. Others are more cautious, wary of giving up youth and depth for splashy moves that may not pan out. That tension is part of what makes this such a fascinating moment in Cowboys history. This isn't just about talent, it's about identity. Are the Cowboys ready to move past being a team that almost gets there and become the kind of ruthless, aggressive contender that hoists trophies? This trade storyline may end up being the defining moment that answers that question. Now let's not forget the cap space implications. If the Cowboys do bring in TJ Watt, they'll have to rework multiple contracts, possibly restructuring Dak's or even considering an early extension to Micah Parsons that includes backloaded numbers. It's not impossible the front office has been planning for a big move, but it would require precision and cooperation. The move could also impact future signings, including whether or not the team is willing to keep Tony Pollard beyond the season or if they pivot to a committee backfield with cheaper options. All eyes are now on Oxnard, California, where training camp will begin soon. If Schoonmaker isn't seen at early sessions, expect the rumors to intensify. If Darnell Washington is spotted on the sidelines in Cowboys gear, or if Watt is absent from Steelers camp with a mysterious personal day, well, let's just say the internet will explode. These kinds of moves don't stay quiet for long, and when they hit, they change everything. As we continue to follow every twist and turn, one thing is certain: the Dallas Cowboys are at the center of the NFL universe right now. Whether they pulled the trigger on all three of these moves or just one, the message is loud and clear: mediocrity is no longer acceptable in Dallas. The expectations are sky high, and so are the stakes. And if Jerry Jones, Mike McCarthy, and Mike Zimmer have anything to say about it, the Cowboys will do more than just make noise this year, they'll make history. So, what's next? Keep your notifications on and stay glued to this channel, because as soon as anything breaks, whether it's confirmation of the Schoonmaker trade, a surprise introduction of Darnell Washington, or the NFL's biggest defensive shocker with TJ Watt in navy and silver, you'll be the first to know. This is the type of offseason that builds legends, and Cowboys Nation is right in the eye of the storm. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more exclusive updates, detailed breakdowns, and unfiltered reactions to the wildest Cowboys rumors and developments, hit that like button. Drop your thoughts in the comments, especially who you'd keep between Schoonmaker and Washington, and don't forget to subscribe for more fire content every week. Until next time, stay loud, stay loyal, and stay ready, because in Dallas, anything can happen.